Hi there, my beautiful subscribers. Welcome to my channel, and please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. This is Tina from Tinaheals.com, and I bring to you a very, very special report about the much talked about comet called Neowise. Neowise is already visible in the horizon and will reach closest to the sun on the 23rd of July. Incidentally, it happens to be my solar return, and it will, Comet Neowise will directly travel over my natal sun. So there is a lot of symbology there. So I wanted to explore this planet in great detail with you. Now, Neowise, as you can see, is one beautiful comet. And the Chinese, actually the most people, like the ancient world, they considered comets to be malefic. Okay, but I want to begin with a little intro about the Chinese beliefs. So the Chinese call comets the broom star, and they think that comets bring bad luck. But once you look at the word broom, you immediately think of cleaning, cleansing, getting rid of unwanted dirt. And of course, the broom cleans and sweeps. The spiritual broom does too. And oftentimes, what I think of comets is that new chances are brought forth, but not easily, through very destructive forces. So, this is a part of how comets work, and they bring destruction, but only because they want to bring forth change. So the Chinese also have another name for the comets. They call them Hu Xin. Hui Xin. Hui is wisdom. Okay, and oftentimes, even in the Vajrayana system, you see that the avatars, the bodhisattvas, yield the Vajra. Okay, Vajra Guru is Guru Padma Sambhava. Okay, and he wields the sword of wisdom to cut away attachment. Okay, so Vajra Guru cuts away attachment, what is not necessary, what we do not need in our lives is cut away. Okay, so when you think of when you look at a comet, you are immediately reminded of a sword. Okay, now think about what you can do with a sword. Okay, what can you do with a sword? You can cut away ignorance, you can cut away what is not needed, you can hurt someone, yet you can cut away, like you can cut wood, and you can just, do basic useful things with a sword. Okay, so Comet Neowise is such a spectacular sight, if you can say I did. Now, let us delve straight into the comet. So, Comet Neowise is visible retrograde to us. He is retrograde. And comets, I won't call him a he, I'll call him a she. I'll tell you why. Comets also, the ancients believed, and so do I, that they bring messages from the extraterrestrial world. Comets are messengers. Okay, and this is yes, what you understand by ETs, extraterrestrials, as well as divine realms. They bring messages from the world of spirit. Okay, the ancient Greeks, they basically looked upon comets as malefic, and they discovered the significations according to the ingress, as well as the color and the shape of the comet, which we will get in which we will discuss in great detail. So yes, they are malefic because the comets occultists believe that the comets were emanations from a sublunary sphere. Okay, this is comets emanate from the sublunary sphere. Okay, now this sublunary sphere is what the Buddhists call avidya. Okay, this sublunary sphere is subject to corruption, degeneration, sexual procreation, and delusions of all kinds. And that is why the comet appears as a sword to cut away that delusion. And the sublunar sphere is made of the four elements. And like I told you, this is the avidya state. Now, when you think of the Eight of Swords, or you think of the Two of Swords, you think of those people with blindfold on, and one has the two swords, and it's about making a choice. Eight of Swords is about sort of getting caught in a destructive thought pattern. Now, very, very interesting stuff about comets. But before I get into that, I want to discuss with you a bit about Ursa Major, from where these planets are emanating. Okay, from where this comet is emanated. So, Ursa Major. Now, before I get into telling you more, let me explain that this comet was visible in the sign of Leo. Okay, and that immediately tells you that this is connected to the sun, because this is visible at about 1 degree of Leo. It is the first decan of Leo, so this is ruled by Saturn in the Chaldean system, and by the sun in the triplicity system. Okay, so we immediately get back to understanding the idea of seven suns is one, and this is very important to understand. The sun's magnetic pole is reversing. Remember that comets bring messages from not only the planetary daimon of the sun, because it's coming from Leo, but it is also bringing you messages from certain fixed stars. I'll get more into that. So when you look at the ideology of seven suns in the one, okay, when you think of the sun that we see, it is not the central spiritual sun. It is an emanation of the central spiritual sun. Okay, now with the magnetic poles reversing, there is a sort of a cosmic stellar alchemy that is happening. Okay, and this is the seven stars of Ursa Major are alchemically merging with the seven stars of the Pleiades constellation. And yes, Uranus in Taurus is very active in this whole equation. I'll tell you why. The alchemical merge is creating higher cosmic planes, and it is clearing and cleansing much of stagnant and toxic stellar and cellular memory. This is so powerful because multiple timelines are merging right now. Okay, now when you think of the seven suns as one, you think of the diamond sun body. Okay, this is the Christos body, or the awakened one. This is the Vajra Guru. This is the power of Padmasambhava. His mantra is Om Ahang Vajra Guru Pema Siddhi Hang. Om Ahang Vajra Guru Pema Siddhi Hang. So he takes his Vajra to cut away the delusions that exist in the stellar and cellular memory of humans and the planetary daimons. So the seven suns is one is awakening of the Christos principle of the inner spiritual sun. The sun is involved, the Pleiades constellation is involved, and Uranus in Taurus. All of them are elevating the planetary logos of the sun. Okay, the sun is being elevated. Now, in an esoteric astrology, we know Uranus has a 7D violet ray. And the 7D violet ray emanates from the constellation of Ursa Major. Okay, and when we have astro alignments, certain astro alignments like we are having right now, and the opening of the Lion's Gate, we experience frequencies that are altered, and we manifest. Okay, we are vibrating higher and higher with this 7D violet ray that is coming forth. So Uranus is the bringer forth of the 7D ray, and the sun is distributing it differently through the solar system this time. Okay, and what I feel very deeply is, my friends, the stellar architecture is changing. With the coming of Neowise, the stellar architecture is changing. The 7D ray is creating an ultraviolet magnetosphere. Okay, and this magnetosphere holds instructions for the planetary logos. Okay, it's like an akashic field, and this change of this magnetosphere, it impacts our body, our chakra. We learn, we get information from this magnetosphere, and as the 7D rays are penetrating, it is affecting our DNA, our chakras, our bodies. Okay, the sun has an etheric orb nearby. Okay, and this leads to the central spiritual sun, and this is according to the Christians, called the Father. According to the Vedic system, this is Vishnu. When you think of the avatars of Vishnu, they are blue. They emanate from this central spiritual sun, and because the central spiritual sun is yang, it's masculine, so it is therefore changing men forever. Okay, now what the spiritual sun does is the spiritual sun, what it does is that it reclaims the mind, or the manas, of those thought forms which are tainted with destructive histories of humanity. Okay, so this in turn heals the planetary logos and the collective mental and spiritual body. In a sense, what's going on right now is a reconfiguration of humanity. Okay, so I think this was so interesting to mention the merging of the seven stars of Ursa Major to the seven stars of the Pleiades constellation, and Uranus being a sort of a bridge, a sort of a red pill that we can access to wake up, to awaken to the power of the 7D ultraviolet ray that is emanating from this magnetosphere, that is newly being surcharged and in a sense created actually. So comets, again, they bring messages from the world of spirit, okay, from the fixed stars. Okay, and oftentimes they portend of punishment. They are portents of punishment, and sometimes they bring blessings, but it's always messages from the logos. Okay, now the effect of a comet is 1/8 of their period, so it is most powerful when it is visible and